What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Even your family. So how was your family? How was your brothers and sisters? Because I mean, look, I got a brother and sister, and you know, we joke with each other, and I can imagine if the situation were if one of us was in those class, we gonna get them jokes off, Monique. It is what it is.
No one paid enough attention.
Really?
Like no one paid enough attention because though we lived in a household together, we were very individual. So no one even paid attention to what was really going on, and to include my parents. And that's not a victim story. That's not, oh, what was me? It's just what it was.
That's right.
So it wasn't like, oh, you dummy. The jokes were always fat. They were always fat jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So I'm so used to that. But
are you the only one in your family this
baby, the only one that sneaks snacks. I'm the only one that'll sneak them damn snacks, Shannon. Right. I'm the only one. Yes.
So what would you say your relationship then and now was with your family?
Well, my relationship now with my family, they're my biological family, and I wish them well.
Well,
here's the thing. I watched you do I think it was like a little clip, and they were talking about interracial dating.
Yes.
And you said, why would somebody stay where they're miserable?
Right.
That applies everywhere, Shannon.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't apply to that, especially in our community. We've been taught, take care of your family, make sure. Well, there are some families that deserve it, and there are some families that you have to say, listen, I'm so glad we had this time together. And that's it. Yeah. That's where I am with mine. I wish all of them the best, but that's what it is. Yeah. So even as I sit here with you now, with all that's going on in Hollywood and all of the stuff I had to go through, I've already been through it with people that you call your family. And I have to say, you know what? That has to just wash off when I know what I'm standing in and what I'm standing on.
You're absolutely right, Monique. My grandmother used to always tell us, she'd say, son, teeth and tongue may fall out, but family never should. And she stood on that. No matter what transpired in the family, no matter how bad someone had treated you, you should never fall out. But hearing you say that's different, because just because we're blood, that doesn't mean we're family through blood. But sometimes it's somebody on the outside that's not blood, that's actually closer family than the actual biological.
We've been taught to say trauma is okay. We've been taught to say you mistreated me, you abused me, you violated me, you disrespected me, you belittled me, but I'm supposed to look at you at Thanksgiving and say, how you doing, Unc? That's what we've been taught. You swallow that pain. That's why people have such a problem with Katt Williams. People have a problem with people that says, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And that causes a ruckus, and you would say, why are people upset with the truth? When you hear Steve Harvey say, there are repercussions when you tell the truth. Well, remember when we were children? What would your grandmother tell you?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, because if not, there will be what? Repercussions.
Right.
Well, now it's got turned around. When you tell the truth, there'll be repercussions. So what's the opposite of that? Should I tell a lie and get a reward? So that's how we're rolling right now. That's how we're dealing with one another right now. So when it comes to family and people saying, oh, Monique, how could you? Listen, I want to live the rest of this journey that I have in peace. I want to be with my family, in love with my man, he in love with me. We watch our babies grow and develop their own families. I don't need anything in the midst of that, because you family, that I should accept that trauma. I should accept you not taking accountability for what you've done, what you've said, and we just washed the slate. That's why we're in the position we are now as a community.
Yep. Speak on it.
Yeah, she cooked. Was this the first 2 minutes?
Yeah.
She went in. I do believe though 100% that space doesn't create like the distance of a person of not wanting to be around them anymore, I feel like disconnection does.
Exactly.
And after so many times of going through something with a person, whether it's family or whether it was a stranger who became family, no matter how many times you go through it, at some point you start to space yourself. Like, you start to create a space between them because you're like, I want you to heal before you continue to put me down or go through whatever it is, whatever the trauma may be. And after a time period has gone on, if that person don't, change their ways, you disconnect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just can't fool with that lifestyle no more because it's not benefiting where I'm trying to be. And there's no shot to nobody. That's just the reality. That's just the mindsets of every person.
Yeah.
Some people stay in it without trying to get out, but then you have people who create a space, and then if nothing changes, they disconnect.
Right. And in our community, we have been taught that dysfunction is normal.
100%.
That ain't normal. Keeping secrets in the family that hurts other people in the family, that's not normal. That's toxic.
The gospel came out.
Shoot. Family ain't supposed to hurt each other.
Nah, they're not.
If you can't love me like you love your coworkers and your everybody else that just thinks the world of you because they don't see the real side of you, we can't be family.
That's an odd perspective as well too, because it's like, I grew with you, and I'm just saying, like, for family reasons, like, I grew with this individual, and because this other person may not know you like I know you, you give them more grace to get to know you. Meanwhile, the person that know you, you easily treat them a different way.
You're so evil.
Easily treat a different way. And that's just how it is sometimes with families.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
As a black community, as a community in entertainment, everybody's been so afraid to say, look what they did to me. Look what they said. And it's like, oh, well, listen now, we don't want to ruffle no feathers, especially if the messenger doesn't fit what people should think the messenger is supposed to look like. Right. And we keep repeating history, Shannon.
Is it a situation, Monique, where people look and say, well, you made it thus far, well, it couldn't have been that bad? Because if it has been as bad as you say it is, Monique, how would you have ever gotten out of B-More? How would you have ever gotten into Hollywood? How would you ever have a talk show? How would you ever be on a sitcom? So how is it that bad, Monique, and you end up like this?
You know, when you first got in the NFL?
Yes, ma'am.
Your eyes were like this.
Yes.
And it was, oh, I made it. I'm here.
Bro, I got to rewind it because Shannon asked the question to where you got to speak your mind. He ain't just interviewing about it. I feel like this sit down is how he will be behind closed doors.
Yeah. Like
really having that real heart to heart. And when you talk to people with a sense of love and you're genuine with your question, they're going to give you what you're asking for. And he making a cook.
I'm so glad he off that show. Now he could flourish in this land.
He flourishing. Come on, man.
Talk show. How would you ever be on a sitcom? So how is it that bad, Monique, and you end up like this?
You know, when you first got in the NFL?
Yes, ma'am.
Your eyes were like this.
Yes.
And it was, oh, I made it. I'm here.
Right.
And then after you start getting in it and you started seeing things and you started feeling things and now your eyes start getting a little closer because now you're understanding what the business is.
Right.
So when you first walk through the door, you're walking through the door saying, come on, baby. Oh, this is all I've ever prayed for. And when my baby Katt Williams sat here and said, no one's ever gone out to LA and got a sitcom like that. I was in LA for 3 months. And here comes a show called The Parkers. And there we go from there. It took off from there. So I think that when people say if it was so bad, you mature. You begin to understand what you're dealing with.
Right.
You begin to understand what you're in the midst of. And once you understand it, is when you can speak on it.
Right.
But before you really know what you're looking at, how do you speak on that?
Right.
Because when you first walk in the door of Hollywood, you have everybody telling you, oh my goodness, you're going to be amazing. Oh my goodness, this is going to be incredible. Well, that's all you know.
That is all you know.
Yes.
But you're so happy to be here.
Yes.
And you're like, okay.
When I listen to your story, you say dirt poor.
Yes.
Bathroom outside.
Yes.
It was, we had to make it work however we can make it work.
Correct.
And then you get that first big check.
Yes.
And you think the people that gave it to you is awesome because they gave it to you. And it's more money than you've ever seen before until you find out this ain't the right money. This ain't the right amount. wait a minute.
Oh.
If they got this, why am I getting this? Then you start putting the pieces together and you start saying, it's not right and I'm going to speak about it. See, when I saw Taraji broken on those platforms, it was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get him the next time. We'll get him the next time. We'll get him the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why didn't it get the traction when you said it that when she said it? Now all of a sudden everybody is coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful.
I was about to say that it was because of the person saying it and how they said it. Like I said in the other video, they villainized her. You know, they didn't want her speaking out about it.
Yeah.
You know, and she got blackballed.
Yeah. Wasn't this around the time the Netflix situation?
No, well, that was recent. This was after Precious.
Okay, Precious. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord.
Well, I got
That was a
invited
good
to the party.
Yeah.
You a big
Play
fat
that.
black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're very specific.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji P. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with her back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman.
That's hard.
So when you hear black women,
you could have paused it, right?
I wanted to hear the snaps in the background.
it's musical. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, they talking about the entertainment industry, but if we being real, there's a racial wealth gap in the whole country when it comes to us and others.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's real, and that's systematically.
Yeah. Yeah, we
were
are.
promised something that we ain't get.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is Black History Month, and they coming out with all these articles. First of all, y'all could have came out with this in January, but y'all coming out with articles discussing the racial wealth gap and how it's going to take us 160 something years to even catch up with other people. And then they're talking about how much reparations they have paid to another community during this month.
That's hard.
It seems like it's on purpose. But you know what? I feel like we need to turn those purpose articles and stuff that's coming out and tweets that's coming out, and the community needs to be talking more about this collectively.
No, 100%.
And not for any type of agenda on I ain't gonna go there, babe. But not for any social agenda, but we need to talk about this collectively and really see what's going on in our community so we can check it. Something was promised to us that we never got. A portion of us got it, but everybody didn't get it. Okay? Let's talk about the real stuff.
If you say you're going to do something, I mean, like I said, accountability sometimes can be vicious because they're afraid. Some people, you know what I'm saying everybody, but some people are afraid of the response. Sometimes when you hold a person accountable, they get angry. They get so furious. So, like, why would you even think that I'm supposed to, or I'm supposed to, like, it's like working at a job that you've been on for 50 years. And your raises has been pennies and nickels.
Pennies and nickels.
And then they finally come back and say, we got something for y'all. And they give you a pizza party.
A pizza party.
Yeah, it's like that. I'm tired of pizza.
I'm tired of pizza.
You don't want no more pizza.
Listen, I'm tired of going to our historic neighborhood, seeing abandoned buildings. I'm tired of crossing the track.
Gap right there.
Right. I'm tired of crossing the track and being able to see new this and new that. But when I get back on the other side of the track, it's, dang, is this a ghost town? I am so sick and tired of that. I have traveled throughout. Look, I'm from the South. So I have traveled throughout the South. Those historic neighborhoods where, you know, the strange fruit was hung and all those things. I'm tired of seeing the same thing. I'm tired of dissecting laws and seeing that, hey, this law still like this and this was created back then. Yeah. Y'all just changed up the word. I'm tired of seeing. Ooh, we went somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Let me take the mic from you. I'm gonna do the mic real quick. Now, but just to put that last part, just put this last part in there. Our community is like a 1.2 trillion or 1.6 trillion spending people. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, all this consuming we're doing, we should be producing. Like, we should be no more adapting. You know what I'm saying? It's time to stay still and build. It's like we have that spending power to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we're not poor. We're far from lazy.
Done it so many times.
And our environments and our communities can really thrive if we understood that. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited.
God.
We get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch.
Come on, man.
And you hear some black men saying, why her husband gotta be there?
That's wild, bro. That's some dirty
We're
business.
in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question black love and black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like.
That's why we say know your history. When you see how hard it was for our people to stay unified and to how we're doing today, you look back, like, know your history and put the two together and see what changed. You know what I'm saying? You start to look at it and be like, yo, we tripping. We didn't have a choice. But now we do. And we choosing to do this.
We need to get out of ourselves.
You get what I'm
sometimes.
saying? It's a little weird.
Look at the bigger picture.
It's such a bigger picture.
Because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Did they question the validity? Because we had never seen this before. Not so public, not so present.
Yes.
Did they question you and his relationship?
Me and my husband?
Yes.
When you say question,
what is like?
Because they did, but I want to understand what.
Because okay. Did they think that was your husband, or what was he? Your manager? Because he's been everything. Yes. He's your lover. He's your manager. He's your confidant.
Name him.
He's the father.
Come on, name him,
bro.
Whatever it.
Come on, man.
He's all encompassing.
Yes.
He's a toolbox with all the tools that Monique needs.
All of them.
Hard.
And so when I heard people saying that, why is he there? Why does he have to be in every interview? Why does he have to be in the background? Why can't Monique do that? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? And that's when you see, and these are my sisters, but when you see Taraji, when you see Viola, when you see our sisters speaking out, you never see their representation sitting right there with them. You never see them saying, listen, we got to fight together.
Right.
My husband is also my manager, which is my representation.
Right.
But again, we've been so beat down that some of us have a problem with this black man saying, I'm standing right here strong, and I will not flinch and I will not budge. What a sad state of affairs we are now in, where you have people that look like you and I that would question why this man is standing there. That, for the life of me, is disheartening. When we heard Brother Malcolm say, we've been run amok, we've been hoodwinked, we're now doing it to ourselves. We're now doing it to ourselves. So when you said, Monique, it was different because we had never seen that before, you said their names. Let me say this, I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one, this is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like, she was dark-skinned and she had coarse hair. And because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, did not think she would be accepted by the white people, they had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all.
Right.
It was the messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it.
Right.
Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind you, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home, when you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy.
Right.
I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we will be so far along.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to say that when your mind and your heart is aligned, you don't easily get angry. Because you believe what you feel what you believe. Simple. But when somebody like when you're dealing with a person whose mindset is not aligned with their heart, they get a little frustrated. Like, and I know everybody got that little side where they get a little rowdy, but it's the amount of it. It's like it can't be that bad to where something that was said made a person fall out their seat, punch the floor, trip out. It's never that serious. You know what I'm saying?
They're dictated by their emotions.
The mental is a very strong thing, and when you get your mental in check and you're aligning with what you're feeling, you're powerful, bro. Yeah. You're powerful. Yes, sir.
Do you believe punishment? Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator, but it's also to deter others from said acts.
You see it.
Do you believe the punishment that was bestowed upon Monique was not only to punish you, but to deter others from saying what you said?
Well, Shannon,
he said it.
And I'm going to answer that. But sometimes we act like we don't know our history. See, back in the day, when they had us in chains, they would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others. And they let everybody know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
That was very good.
Listen.
She said it. That was very good.
Listen, you don't buy a slave, you make one.
Yeah.
That was the mentality.
That's heavy.
Okay?
I ain't say that one in a while, but that's heavy.
And then they also divided us.
Mm-hmm.
Divide and conquer. Ooh.
That's why we said know your history, because when you see how hard it was, and then when you look at the reality of today, ask yourself what has changed, and ask yourself what are you doing to make our picture better. Because at the end of the day, we all gonna be posing. At the end of the day, we all gonna pose in that family photo,
right? And
we gonna be like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have some things that you didn't do in your lifestyle that's not gonna be in that picture because you made some certain choices. So
the work photo.
The work photo.
Different generation, same tactics.
The work photo is hard, see? Oh, man.
Yeah. So what they said was, we're going to beat Monique really good. We're going to sit her down. And I made it public. Financially, my family took a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit,
right.
Jeez.
We took a hit. So when you see our sister go through that, you see her go through, and We act like our eyes didn't see what it saw when we watched that promotion happen with the color purple.
Right.
We wanted to act like we didn't see how Oprah Winfrey treated Taraji. In my humble opinion, when you saw her walk up, you saw that there was tension. You saw that there was something happening.
Right.
And then when you see Taraji write her a love letter, it's like, listen, we got to stand tall and stand strong on what we know. We know you were mistreated. We know it wasn't right. We know it was unfair. And then you turn around and say, oh, but Lady O handled it. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because that allows Lady O to keep on doing what she's doing. And we're in a position of, I don't want to say nothing because we saw how Monique got whooped. Now, again, that's just my humble opinion. But I don't know I don't know how else to frame that.
That's history.
It's like, listen, you better fix that because you saw what they did to her. You saw how they treated her.
Is it a situation, do you believe it's a situation that Oprah might have faced something similar that maybe wasn't as public as you? And she's looking at it, well, if I faced that, went through it, and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. You know,
before you talk about the parents, I'm like that he's talking about that because even on jobs, like what a employee may see a supervisor or manager do, they try to do the same thing. The manager's going to get put in the office. The employee's going to get, told what not to do in front of everybody by the manager.
Or fired.
Or fired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Public as you. And she's looking at it, well, if I faced that, went through it, and came out on the other side and look at me, it should be okay. Because sometimes we get that with parents. I struggle. You say my kids should have to struggle sometimes also. Do you think that might be something going on with?
Oh, man, that's that generational trauma. I'm sorry, that's trauma talk. If I'm struggling, ain't no way my children should struggle.
I think.
No.
I believe with that term, I know what you're talking about, but when you're in a successful place and position, you create those obstacles for your child then. You get what I'm saying?
Different obstacles.
Now, some people don't have that option. Sometimes life is going to happen and you have to deal with whatever it is you got, with what you have. But when you're in a successful position and life is happening for your child, you're a safety net all the time.
Safety net, right.
All the time. But you get to choose whether or not they need to, because you know them. Like,
you can help them.
Do they need to learn this lesson?
Right.
Do they need to know what it is to have support? Do they need to know what it is to be alone? Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like that. Yeah. That alone right there is like a little. It's a give and take type of.
Now, what I mean is, I'm not gonna cripple them like, oh, you can come to me for everything. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna just watch you struggle.
Yeah.
I have a bed. You don't have to be homeless. You don't have to be on the street. I can go help you find a job. You don't have to, do things that you're gonna forever think about. That's
gonna get you locked up forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's that generational trauma.
I hear you.
And I understand, they gotta learn certain things. And this is from a person. I understand they gotta learn certain things, but I'm not just gonna throw them out to the wolves.
Right.
When I can help with certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. You're not against them bumping their heads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bump your head, but baby, if I can help it, I'ma help you.
I just thought about something. Because how many times the child got a bump his head before he said, oh, you know what? That's a log there. It's like, hey, duck. Come on now. I watched you do that long enough. Duck. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yes, sir.
Or you just like, there's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect.
Okay.
There's a disconnect, and there's been a disconnect for years. There's a disconnect. And I think what happens is we place people on these pedestals, and we say, oh, no, you can't do no wrong. We don't even want to hear it.
Right.
And when you hear Katt say, you know what they do? They don't say anything, and they act like it didn't happen. I'm going to keep talking until you take accountability.
Right.
Until you say, Uncle, I've done this. That's why it was so important. From Oprah Winfrey to Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now, Lee Daniels was the only one I had to deal with. Did you see Lee Daniels apologize? He walked out on that stage. Not only did he apologize on stage, that man apologized to our children.
Oh, wow.
That man apologized to our children and said, I need to apologize for what I put y'all through. He's the only one I had to deal with. However, it became a problem with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry that I wouldn't do something and work for free. Now, when you say, well, maybe Oprah feels like she came through it, why can't you?
Right.
Well, there's a story with Oprah Winfrey when she was on the show, People Are Talking. Richard Sher was making $55,000. She was making $22,000. These are her words. It was her co-host. She said, I had to leave because they wasn't paying me fairly. Now you say a black woman who did nothing wrong, and you're in the midst of this situation because she called me, Tyler Perry called me, Lionsgate called. When you were on the phone with my husband, you said, I agree with Monique. I agree with the position she's taking.
But
when it came time to say it out loud, Oprah Winfrey went totally silent. Now, to Tyler Perry's credit, Tyler Perry called us up, right? And he said, I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you. But the conversation kept going on. Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. Whoa. He lied. Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong. And when my movie Boo come out, I'm going to say that. Whoa. Right? Now, here's where, when you did that interview with Katt, I could respect how you do it. Because Katt said, you let them people lie in your face. And your response was, Katt, I don't know if they're lying or not.
Right.
Because I can only take them at their word.
At their word.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we sent you the audio of Tyler Perry. I don't want you to take me at my word. I want you to hear his words.
The receipt.
And what did you hear that man saying? What did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
Say it.
She
wants you to say it.
You know you're not supposed to be recording people.
No. Let me.
He said you're supposed to be recording people without their consent.
Ooh, he said, I ain't trying to get the lawsuit.
Right, because
he said, you ain't gonna hear me say it.
That's crazy. Ooh, this is new. This is some behind the scenes new stuff.
Oh. Katt said this is gonna be a place of truth. Monique sent evidence in.
So Katt said that a whole lot of more were gonna come through here with this. So he was
February.
He's the beginning of the year, 2024. He's a domino effect. He's the one that made this happen. And now we come with audio. I thought she was asking from a place like, you understand where I'm coming from, but she's saying, say it.
Say it.
Speak it. Like, from the top.
Did you hear that man saying?
He said it.
What did he say?
You know you're not supposed to be recording people.
No. Let me back up.
Okay.
Everything we did was legal. And here's where a black woman really gets the kick in the ass. Had I not recorded Tyler Perry, then it would have been my word against his. And then on top of that, it would have been, he's so powerful, we can't even pay no attention to that.
Right.
Well, now I have him on audio, which is legal to do where we live.
Right.
Okay?
Ooh.
We have him on audio. And do you know what some people then said? Why would you record him? Just like you sat there and said, you know it's illegal to... But did you hear what the man said? I violated you.
Yeah.
I mistreated you.
Yeah.
Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Over a lie and a rumor?
That's how I be.
Is he gonna he's gonna compensate you for that?
I want you to look in your camera.
Yes.
And I want you to talk to Tyler Perry because you heard what that man said. So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
Tyler, will you come on Club Shay Shay and let's have a conversation about the fair compensation?
Yo, Tyler Perry,
for what transpired between you and Monique. You can sit right here, and she's sitting right here, and you and I can have a conversation.
Hard, boy. Shannon said that with his chest out. Come on, man.
Shannon said, don't play with me.
Shannon said with his chest out.
I was about to say the NFL. What would this be? I'm going in the podcast Hall of Fame.
Okay.
This
All
too
right.
much. This too much.
We're gonna stop this right here, y'all. Again, this was a very, very long interview, and man, this is getting good.
I'm sad because y'all know how I feel about Tyler Perry.
I know, and I was thinking about that with your last comment before this one, and I was like, but you like Tyler Perry, you like what he do, you know what I'm saying? So I just grew up watching everybody, you know what I'm saying? I was like, y'all dope, y'all keep me smiling, keep doing your thing. All of that, you know what I'm saying? Don't know these people from a can of paint, but when you grow up watching somebody, it hits different when you had another age. It's like watching a movie and then you watch it again 10 years later and you find something more interesting. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Facts,
That's how
facts.
I feel. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.